Hi everyone, I hope you're having a good weekend, and I was really sorry to miss class yesterday on Friday. Thank you to Julianne for filling in. As you can hear, I'm still not perfectly well, but I'm on the mend. So I just wanted to check in on a few things. I wanted to share a couple of resources with you, and I guess in general, I just wanted to make sure that everyone's feeling okay as we've launched into this course, and particularly with this first book that we're reading together. So and this is not the book you see on the screen is not the book we're reading together. I'll talk about it in a minute, but the one we are reading together is this one, although we have a different cover. And I just wanted to say quickly, I know that this was a sort of expensive book as far as literature books go. I know not compared to textbooks. So, whether you've found a way to get it out of a library or you're just reading it on reserve or you got it online or something like that, I do hope that the book itself and getting a copy in your hands or on your screen is not going to stop you from reading this book, because it's a great book, and it's important that you're actually taking it in and experiencing it. So the reason that I had this book up here is because this is not a book that we're going to look at necessarily. Maybe at some point we'll look at some excerpts, but it's kind of like the Bible on reading comic books, graphic novels, all the different terms we have now for that genre. And so in a minute, I'm going to show you a video that features the author of this. But I guess part of the reason I'm bringing this up is that last week in lecture, Professor Hicks said, "Oh, you guys, you all read comics, you all know comics." And it stopped me because I thought, maybe that is not necessarily the case. And I presume that some of you are comic book readers. I also presume that some of you have been exposed to graphic novels in English class, whether it was, American-Born Chinese or Mouse by Spiegelman is perhaps the most famous one that's taught often in English classrooms in high schools, or even maybe Marjorie Sartrapi, I think, Persepolis. Anyhow, so you may have been kind of taught how to read them as a piece of literature, but you may not have. There may be a third group of you that really doesn't have any exposure to this. And so I am going to show you in a minute, I'm going to give you a few videos that might be useful to all of you to kind of think about really graphic novels as a genre. Obviously, the one we're reading is not even a novel per se. Neither is Mouse nor Persepolis. Those are all memoirs, which has become, a genre in itself, but we continue to say graphic novel. So I thought that for some of you, again, if you haven't been sort of taught how to read these, I'm sure you're all getting the hang of it, but it can be confusing. And unfortunately, the Amazon preview doesn't offer a lot of pages here to look at. But we looked at these in class, and you would get the hang. Probably you'd start to, pattern recognition. You start to realize, but Sacco uses the system of he's putting narration in actual boxes, whereas anything people are actually saying is in bubbles. And it gets even a little complicated here because this is indirect dialogue. This is what, the character is saying, but Sacco, our narrator, is saying he said he'd lost. So it's, it's in the third person. It's not in the first person like this one is, where the friend is saying, I think things will get much better. So I think that there's also things to keep in mind in terms of, you read left to right, just like we do with text, unlike manga, which is the other way. But there will be times, and again, there aren't pages for me to show here, where you have to kind of determine and really infer how you move about the page. So if you're struggling with that, don't beat yourself up about that. That again, there's a challenge and kind of an art of the reading of a graphic novel that will take some practice, and so don't go away. Stick with it. All right. So that's that. I wanted to show you this, which is this is a program I use, or I don't know what you call it, platform or something called Workflowy. It's how I do a lot of organizing, and this is where I will be keeping like a running record of our class. Oops, I'm realizing I made a mistake right here. Of our classes. So here's last week's And, you know, it's just kind of a bullet point. I wrote that email last week, so I've stuck, kind of quoted myself here. Yesterday, this is just a breakdown, basically, of yesterday's class. And I'm going to actually, what I wanted to show you right here is these videos that I'm sharing with you, and I decided to stick them under class 2 because I would have shared them with you yesterday. Not necessarily watch them, but I would have given you the resource. And this is where I'm going to put the video that I'm recording right now. So it's kind of meta. And this system you can see also works. It's pretty simple. You can just, if you see a gray thing around a dot, it means there's something to expand upon. So here, this is a great TED Talk, the link's here, that I would highly recommend if you've got 17.5 minutes. It's great for anyone at any level who's interested in graphic novels. Here's our friend Scott McCloud, the Understanding Comics guy. I would say just watch the first 6 minutes or so. He's quoted a lot and used by this guy here, the Dartmouth professor. But anyway, this is just watching him being interviewed, and he uses a Hellboy as his visuals. And then I found this. There are a lot of interviews with Joe Sacco, but I thought this one was kind of interesting, and it's short. So those are some resources. I'm going to email you all with the email to this video. I'm going to email this link. So sorry for all the crazy embedding within the embedding. But I think that's it. So, all right, I've kept this under 7 minutes. Hope you're doing something more exciting than making screencasts on a Saturday night. And I will see you all in class on Monday. Please email me if you have any questions or concerns or comments. Thanks. Bye-bye.